Greetings, salutations, respect, and love. I'm Scott, you're in the Prog Corner, and today I'm going to be following a trend. Yeah, I don't normally follow trends, man. I'm the guy who starts trends, but apparently the big thing going on YouTube this past week has been listing your top 10 most played albums of all time. So I'm going to play along because it kind of dovetails into what we've been doing the last couple weeks with my favorite album series. These are not my favorite albums. In many cases, these are not even my favorite albums by the particular artist. What I've noticed is a lot of my favorite albums tend to be double albums, long, expansive things, but you don't tend to listen to those a lot. I mean, Tales from Topographic Oceans is my favorite album of all time, but I listen to it once a month. So it's probably not even in my top 100 most listened to albums, but I guarantee you there's a Yes album that is on this list. Absolutely. At number 11, yeah, I'm cheating. I'm going with 11 because I couldn't drop when I tried. I thought about it all night. I couldn't figure out what to drop, so I'm going with 11, and I'm starting in 1969 with a compilation. Yeah, Through the Past Darkly. This album came out primarily as a result of Brian Jones dying, and they wanted to commemorate that. Also, Honky Tonk Woman had been a big hit, but hadn't been on a album yet in the U.S. And this is the U.S. version, so much better than the U.K. version because you've got the Aftermath era songs on here. It's just a way better compilation. I love every song on here. Man, I used to listen to this nonstop growing up. And yeah, all my favorite Stone songs are on here. So that's at number 11. At number 10, from 1994, is the second solo album from Frank Black, and it's Teenager of the Year. If you don't know who Frank Black is, if you've been living under some rock all this time, he is the lead singer and primary songwriter for Pixies, and his second album is just phenomenal, man. He's got Joey Santiago from Pixies on here, Lyle Workman, who just worked with Ryo Okamoto on The Myth of the Monstrous, is all over this record, and every song on here is a keeper, man. There's 22 tracks on here. Every single one of them is great, man. Whatever Happened to Pong, Speedy Marie, Headache, Freedom Rock, Fiddle Riddle. I could go on. All 22 songs are great. I just love it. And here we go at number 9 from 1972. Oh, yeah, it's Demons and Wizards from Uriah Heep. My sister got this album actually back in the day and was blasting it in her bedroom. And usually it was stuff like Joni Mitchell or Heart coming out of her bedroom. So, man, my ears pricked up when she started playing this. And yeah, it's become an all-time favorite of mine. I have listened to this thing religiously through the years. I love The Magician's Birthday. I love Look at Yourself in Salisbury. But this is the best Uriah Heep album with the absolute best lineup. Just incredible. What a dynamite band. What a great album. At number 8. Oh, 1983 saw the release of Iron Maiden's 4th album. This dropped actually 3 days after my wife was born. So yeah, you kind of figured out my wife is a little younger than I am. But this is the album here, right here, boys and girls, where they got it all figured out. Their first album was good. Their second album, they brought Adrian Smith in. Their third album, they brought the great Bruce Dickinson in for vocals. And on their 4th album, they added Nico McBrain on drums, and the classic perfect Iron Maiden lineup was born. I love this album so much. I even like Quest for Fire, that song that everybody seems to hate. I love the Dune song. Frank Herbert was so wrong not letting him call it Dune, but this album is just fantastic from start to finish. I love it. At number 7, from 1999, it's Guided by Voices, Do the Collapse. Again, this is not my favorite Guided by Voices album. This is super produced after all the lo-fi stuff they'd been doing all those years. So they decided, we want to see what could happen if we have a real studio and a real producer. So they went into Electric Ladyland with Rick Ocasek producing this thing. Some people hate it. Sell out, that kind of thing. But there are 16 songs on here, and every single one of them is absolutely amazing and perfect. I just love Guided by Voices and Do the Collapse. Probably my third favorite Guided by Voices album. I just adore it. It's fantastic. Great artwork. Just fantastic. Love Guided by Voices. You guys know that. At number 6, we're going to 1977, and it's the Clash's first album. Yeah, this is the UK version, but I actually prefer the US version because it's got Topper Hedron on there, and anytime he's drumming, it's just better. But these songs are great. I listened to this nonstop on the boat. I liked the Ramones. I liked the Sex Pistols. I really wanted to get into that punk thing that I kept reading about. And then I buy this and it all made sense. I just figured it out. And I love The Clash. I love this album so much. Their second album, Giving Enough Rope, London Calling, Sandinista. What an incredible band. Yeah, you guys know I love me some punk rock, and I had to put a punk album in there. Alrighty, at number 5, I'm going with Black Sea by XTC. Yeah, I could have gone with Drums and Wires, which is, clearly my favorite XTC album. But this one I actually played more. My history with XTC was I was living on the boat. My dad went away for business for a couple weeks. He always would come back with, cassettes for me. And he came back with Drums and Wires one time. And I had a new favorite band, man. So this was the first XTC album that dropped that I already knew who they were. And I was expecting it, anticipating it, getting excited about it. And man, it does not disappoint. This is like Drums and Wires, darker, heavier, louder, twin brother. Just love it. Fantastic. Great production from Steve Lillywhite. You got the gated reverb drums right here. One of the first albums that had that sound that kind of was the whole sound of the 80s. And after this, Andy Partridge stopped touring. He had major stage fright, and he never toured again, which was a great loss for the entire world. At number 4, oh, baby, it's Utopia's first album. Todd Rundgren's Utopia, 1974. He had done an album of real cool prog stuff the year before, A Wizard, a True Star. Half of it was prog, half of it was Philly soul. But this one here is 100% prog craziness, led by the 30-minute epic, The Icon. Just incredible. I love this album. It's not really super well produced, but when you're squeezing the grooves of the vinyl that tight, I mean, the Icon's 30 minutes long and it takes up all of one side. So yeah, there were some issues with the sound quality. You even have a live track on here, so the production isn't super great, but I don't care, man. These songs, this album, I just never stopped listening to it. At number 3, may come as a surprise to some of you people that this is this low, is Fragile by Yes. Yeah, I mean, you can make a case that Close to the Edge and Tales from Topographic Oceans are albums that I actually prefer. But, those are longer songs. You got to be in a certain kind of mood. These have got the short, snappier little tracks, plus the longer, mini epics. And the production on Fragile is absolutely stellar, pristine, crystal clear, absolutely amazing, just perfect. I've listened to this album since the day I heard it for the first time. I probably listened to it at least 3 or 4 times a week, every week for my entire life. At number 2, my second most listened to album of all time, from 1973, it's Genesis Live. Yeah, I was in the record store and I was just going through, flipping, you know how it is, back in the 70s, and I saw this here album cover with 4 dudes sitting down, and the only dude that's standing's wearing a mask, and he's got a bass drum in front of him. Who are these guys, man? I need to hear them. And from the opening notes of Tony Banks' Mellotron on Watcher of the Skies, I knew Genesis was going to be an important part of my life for the rest of my life, and I keep going back to Genesis Live. I absolutely adore it, man. Steve Hackett's guitar solo in The Knife. Oh, forget about it. Now, for regular viewers of this channel, you know what my number 1 is. I've stated it many times on the channel that my most listened to album of all time in my entire life, from 1974. It's the Kansas debut album. This thing just speaks to me in a weird way. I don't really understand why I adore this record so much. It's been a big part of my life since the day I bought it. I think I actually bought this in Utopia the same day on cassette, which is just kind of weird. Talk about being lucky, man. What a good day at the record store that was. But Kansas's first album, just sheer perfection. You've got the shorter tracks. You've got the longer prog workouts. You figured this was going to be a band that was going to be huge. And absolutely they were. It just took them a couple records to get there. Anyway, guys, exciting times at the Prog Corner. We are this close to hitting 5,000 subscribers. I don't normally ask people to hit the subscribe button. I don't really believe in that game. I figure if you want to subscribe, you'll subscribe. If you don't, you won't. But, we're 25 people away. So if you're not already subscribed, hit that button. You know what to do. And I just got my monthly recap. Just going to go over real quick since we have a minute. The overall health of this channel, man. We are doing great. I love you guys. It's all because of you. Let's look at the chart for views. The last 7 months up on the screen from December 2022 to July 2023. You see we've almost doubled in our view count. Last month we had over 54,000 views. You go to watch time, again, almost double. If you look at the 7-month trend, last month we had 4.6 thousand hours of watch time. That's just incredible. Then you go over to the subscriber count. We're, double what we normally did. Had 437 new subscribers in July. Thank you. And then finally, look at the revenue, man. Yeah, I'm going to get rich on YouTube right here. Look at it here, boys and girls. You see in December 2022, your boy made like $60. But last month, July 2023, $173, man. We're almost triple where we were just a few short months ago. So the channel is in rude health. It's all because of you guys. I love you. Next week is going to be another great week on the channel. I have no idea what I'm going to do, but I think it might have a little something to do with ranking the studio albums of a certain band led by a certain flute player. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. I can't believe I haven't ranked the Jethro Tull albums yet. So I'm definitely doing that next week, and whatever else pops up. You know how it is. You know how I do, boys and girls. Anyway, I love you so much. What an incredible 18 months it's been here on the Prog Corner. It's just been fantastic. I can't believe we're almost there. So like I said, just 25 more and we'll be at 5,000, and I can officially tell the world I'm a micro-influencer, man. Awesome stuff. Anyway, peace in the Middle East, free Tibet, and God save the king. And all the good citizens of the nation of Niger. Our thoughts and prayers go out to them. The military coup is taking a real nasty turn there. So, let's remember those poor people in other parts of the world that maybe aren't watching the Prog Corner. Maybe if they did, they'd be in a little better shape and their politics wouldn't be so messed up. What do you think? Anyway, guys, see you soon. Peace.